So I'm putting together this message, and I did a little inventory of my own life at some of the places that I have found Jesus in this last year that you wouldn't expect to find him. And yet I have found him in those places. And one of those places I found him is in a wheelchair. There's a story that was running around Canyon Springs. In fact, last year is part of our year-end letter, and it was the story of Kathy Pavey, who's here, and Kathy had gone through a situation where her husband had died of ALS, and it was this miraculous story of Alan and him coming to know Jesus, and I baptized him, and it was awesome, but then he was gone, and Kathy's thinking, well, what's my purpose now? Well, within a month, maybe the first couple months, she ran into a couple people that her husband, the husband had just gotten diagnosed with this horrible disease. If you don't know anything about ALS, you basically just lose function. Slowly lose function. Maybe a lot faster than you want to lose function, that's for sure. And so Kathy took a walk with this wife, and the result of that walk, those two people came to Canyon Springs, and my buddy Michael gave his life to Jesus, and he has become one of my very good friends. This is the Howell family right here. Michael's right there in the middle. I have one more picture. Terry's had to do a lot of that, I think, right, Michael, over recently? Now, if you don't know Michael, he's way up in the corner. He's in the alcove, way in the back, because he has found a way. He used to be a back seat person, sit in the back row, right? Like all of you in the back row. You're always there. In fact, I think if you walk in and the back seat isn't available, you just go home, right? Michael has found a way to be farther back than the back seat. We have, since this diagnosis, we've just become friends, and we have made up our minds about certain things. Like, since when you know your time is limited, you live life differently. So we have decided that when we get together, we ain't going to Chili's, right? We're not going to Taco Bell, and I can promise you, we're not eating off the healthy choices menu when we go. Let me just give you an idea of some of the things that what places we've gone. Anybody gone to Great Maple? Anybody been to Great Maple? You got to go to Great Maple. We ordered this at Great Maple. You know what that is? Maple bacon donuts. They come out warm. It's amazing. And we consumed them all, right? I mean, I don't think there was a shred of bacon left. Now, the great thing about the donut is it's just amazing. The bad thing about the donut is the maple bacon coma that you fall into right after that. Let me give you another. We went to Hash House A Go-Go. Anybody ever been there? This is what we ordered at Hash House A Go-Go. This is the chicken and waffles. I love that. It's so good, man. Life's too short to eat a Taco Bell, that's for sure. And that's why Michael doesn't look like this anymore. I am never going to let you live that down, bro. That picture is just going to live forever. Every couple of months, I'm just going to pull that back out. So over this last year, I've seen Michael go from walking to wheelchair to electric wheelchair. And every time we get together, I am continually impressed with what I hear coming out of his mouth, the kinds of things that he says, the gratefulness in his voice, the love for his family, the knowing that Jesus allowed this to happen to him, to bring him to himself. I asked him to put it into words, and he said this: my first thought upon my diagnosis wasn't self-pity. I remember saying to God, well, you have my attention. In that moment, I started walking back to God. I feel in my heart, I have the peace that everything is going to be fine on earth and in heaven. Thank you, Canyon Springs. You've been a spiritual lifesaver to me. Michael is a great guy, dear friend, and he's also an example. We talked last week about not outliving your usefulness. He certainly hasn't outlived his usefulness. He has decided to make a difference in the lives of people. A little while back, he was wondering, hey, is there a family that I can help? Is there a person that I can reach out to? And he got this picture from some friends. And he decided to help one of those kids. Which one do you think he chose? Any guesses? It's the one who is praying. His name is Alexis. And Michael did a little research on him and talked to his friends. And he and Terry and their boys built them a house. Listen, if you look for Jesus, you can find him almost anywhere. I found him in a wheelchair.